Okay. Never know how many seconds this holds up before it actually goes live. Hello, welcome to Restore Belief with Nikki. I am Nikki Jacobs. I am a psychic medium, an ET abductee, multiple past life rememberer. Name it, I've probably done it. In some past lifetime or another. Or in this lifetime. Anyhow, I'm finally live. I'm here. Hopefully you can hear me and there's no freaking buzzing. Please let me know because I had to switch some stuff out and hang on one second. I gotta fix this. It's driving me nuts. Okay, and the hair is doing all kinds of whoppy doodle. Hello, hey! Hey, darling, how you doing? I'm glad to see you here. Drew's here in the house too. Okay. So there's a lot to converse about tonight. A lot. And I don't, at this point, I don't even know where to freaking begin. So since this past week, a lot has gone down. Everything from me, and you can hear me just fine. Yay! Awesome. I had so many frickin' oh, I forgot about the light. I had so many frickin' problems, tech stuff. I think I got it fixed. So if there's any kind of clicking or buzzing, let me know because it means that I gotta unfrickin' plug. Which is fine. Lil Cam's present. Awesome. How you doing, sweetie? Okay, trying to get my light set up so that I don't kill my eyes. I thought I kind of forgot about the light. Okay, there we go. And it doesn't kill the light. Oh, okay. Hey, all right. Just an FYI. Just a little piece of info from this old retired photographer. If you have one of those round circular lights that is like a daylight light, figure out a way to put some white toilet paper over it. It'll create it won't be so damn harsh. It works. Baby steps, laugh out loud. This is in Kansas. Yeah, no shit. Anyway, Cat Lover. Hey, how you doing, Cat Lover? Kelly. Hi. Yeah, actually all is good. It is right now. Earlier this week we thought I was having a heart attack. So I ended up in the ER. And it wasn't a heart attack. All the tests came out good. 22 on the numbers. Oh, no, it was 22, and 2. Wow, interesting. Anyway, okay, so enough about my health shit. So tonight, some of this may not go so well with some folks, but I'm going to talk about it. It's part of my experiences, and I'm talking about the religious community. It may not go so well. Hey, Woo Writers, it may not go so well with some religious folks. So here we go, folks. I didn't know if I was going to talk about this straight on or not, but I guess I am. I guess I'm going for it. Deep breath. Here we go, folks. Oh, Stone! Hi! Made it! Whoop whoop! Woohoo! Alright, right on. And I'm glad to see Chris is here too. Where'd you go? I could have sworn it was... It's Chris M. So, Christine? Or Chris. Anyway, so I know a lot of Chris. Anyhow, okay. So this week I have had a lot of past lifetime memories, and I mean a lot. So much so I'm still processing every piece of information, and I didn't file my nails. Damn, I was trying to file my nails. Anyway, All right, pet peeve of mine. So that all said, regarding past lifetimes, past memories, all of that stuff, and hello, you're driving me nuts. There we go. Little things are I'm caught off guard because I want to talk about this, but the repercussions, I'm a little on the concerned side, and I've already gotten some interesting responses, let's put it that way. Hence the reason for my Facebook page public posts about not giving a damn. Okay. So I had a past lifetime by Cat Lover. I had a past lifetime where I remember Jesus. Knew him. It ended up where I've had more memories of that lifetime. It also ended up to where I remembered before him. That all said, what I wanted to say was that I've had so many people come in. Hey, Sandra, I've had so many. I'm waving hello to all those I know and those that I don't, and come on in and sit down and listen. This might be your thing, maybe not. I will be talking about ETs and other things later on. Anyway, so there are things that I'm remembering that is just blowing my mind. I'm just like, oh my god. And yeah, I do know that they are real past lifetimes. Battle. Oh, Robert's in the house. Hello, Robert. Who has been issuing all the licenses to the little things driving you nuts? Question. We're not getting into that right now. Although I did do some physical body work before coming in and doing the live broadcast, because it seems that I keep getting targeted every time I do a live now. Isn't that interesting? So I'm prepared. I'm well prepared. Let's put it that way. All right, the Jesus thing. Jazz. Oh, dear God. We don't talk about that individual here. Anyhow, so regarding Jesus, went in to that past lifetime, those memories, and I've been, over the years, been asked repeatedly if I thought he was an ET. And no. No, we're not dealing with that. No, I'm not doing that. And so, no, I do not believe he is an ET. The past lifetime, vast multiple past lifetimes that I remember that all culminated into the lifetime when I was around. Thank you, Amy. I very much appreciate that. Very much remembered some very specific information. And that information is that he, Jesus, was pure energy in a physical body. And I mean every bit of energy. And hey, Tim, and that may not go over well with a lot of people. A lot of religious folks or even the Vatican. I just know that it's going to cause problems. And I hope I hit the right button. Yes. Hang on one second. So I'm being asked if I'm a Christian. Yes, I am. So Lyle Sloth, Are you a Christian? Yes, I am. And a lot of people have a really hard time with me saying that I am a Christian, that I am, hey, Flat Sixer, that I am a ET, I'm a Christian, I'm an ET abductee, I'm a psychic medium, and people have a really hard time with that. Really hard time with that. And so, you know what, Jazz? Whoever you are, no, I'm not putting up with this tonight. We're done. So, basically, pure energy in physical form. And that is it. Hi, Flat Sixer. That is a big deal. Really, real. Oh, you put the show in Sandy's chat for you. Thank you, Lil Cam. Thank you. Sandy's chat. Oh, Rachel. Hello. It took me a moment when I saw it because it comes up differently. Oh, Mandela effects. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. The explanation. Thank you. Anyway, so I know that a lot of what I talk about is going to be... hello, Andrew Pierre. Hi. Welcome to my chat. Have you ever been with... we're not going into that. So, anyhow, point being, it may be really hard because to explain this, to talk about this, it may not go over well with a lot of folks who are religious. And that can be a very difficult thing because I know a lot of different people in a lot of different religions, or what we would typically call religions. Spirituality, whatever you want to call that. There we go. I'm getting a weird echo because of this right now. So, I just want people to be aware of what I remembered, and I want to talk about it. And what I remember was him in his body, but he emitted this pure energy signature. It was, he had his own aura, just like every human body has an aura. And it was mind-bending to me to make that realization this week regarding and dealing with all of this and all the memories from meeting him, talking to him in that lifetime. He changed my life in that lifetime. Okay, be right back. Okay. And so it's just, it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact of past lives. It's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that you've experienced them and you've got actual memories from them, let alone this subject. Hey, Ange, it's good to see you, dear. And I think I said hello to you earlier. It was just a strange night tonight. Anyway, I really want to talk about the past life things because it really makes a significant difference in our lives. What we have going on in this life is because of our past lives. It's because of the things that we have learned on... Oh, thank you, Drew. Because of the things that we have learned from those past lives into this life. And then at the same time, like I've experienced a hell of a lot of shit in my life. A hell of a lot. Oh, fuck. See, that's what I was... Thank you. That's what I needed to know, Robert. 1 second. Okay. Is that better? Hopefully it's better. Whenever I'm plugged in and see this is I happen to like Philips, but Philips is sometimes causes problems with other Other devices. So this one I had to mark because this one's no longer any good. Yep, no buzzing now. Okay, thank you. See, that's what I needed to know. Okay, so for the first 15 minutes, there's buzzing. That's a big deal. All right, so thank you. I so much appreciate you telling me that. That's what I need you to do is be sure to tell me that if there's buzzing, we get that shit taken care of, so there's no more of it. So thank you guys. Thank you, ladies. Anyway, so Jesus was pure energy in a physical form. I also have a memory of walking. Oh crap! I can't think of what it's called. It's when the sea was split open, and people were walking through. I have a memory of being one of the men walking and going that pathway, and wall of water. It's so mind bending. It actually happened, and for whatever reason, there's proof now. Some way, somehow, there's proof. I saw, read an article talking about the science evidence of it, and I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so I remember that, but I wasn't at the front, even at the middle. I was towards the back, and I remember hearing horses' hooves on dry dirt, and when we were going through, it was. Yeah, I know. It was mud and muck, but we were getting through, and it was really hard to get through. Yeah, Red Sea parted by Moses. Thank you, Drew. So Drew says they recently found bones of horses and parts of chariot wheels down in the Red Sea. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some of the mud was so bad that some of the wagon wheels came off. Then there were also the ones that perished because of it, because all of us made it through, but the ones that were chasing us didn't. Kai, hey Kai, how you doing? I'm doing good right now. So I appreciate. I had made a significant post. I don't typically post about the kind of things that I did regarding my health on Monday, and it was kind of a big deal because it was very, very, very scary. Sunday night was very, very scary, and then when it started happening again on Monday, I was like, oh shit, that's it, we got to go in. So that's what Kaya is asking about. Anyway, so I have these past life memories of that, and they were long and arduous lives. The other thing that yeah, that's Stone is saying, feel like tomorrow's meeting will be heavy duty too. Yes, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it like from Friday. So, well, technically yesterday here in the States. So Friday through like Monday is going to be, there's something about this timeline right now. And the timeline that we're in, there's something, there's big things about to take place. And those of us who are psychic mediums, energy workers, you're going to be feeling it. And it's not just because of what's taking place. Yeah, Stone is saying new shift. Yes, that's just exactly where I was headed with it. There's also planet alignment stuff going on. And take notice, because all of that is coming into play hardcore between now and the beginning of the year. Really by the first, I think, the first, second week in February. there's going to be some really significant shifts going on. Now, I don't know about the planet alignments. I'm not into astronomy. I mean, I am, but not. I don't deal with it. Entertainment text remnant. Hello, hello. Chris, you're into. You asking me or somebody else? Yes, I am. I love burgers. I love beef. I like meat. I gotta have really high protein though. Anyway, so back to the subject at hand. It's just really interesting. I find all of this really interesting, that the way it's been hitting me. Luminox, yeah, have you been abducted? Yes, I'm an ET abductee. Tube steak, I've never had tube steak before. I've had all kinds of steak, but I've never had tube steak, at least not that I'm aware of. Anyway, have I been abducted? Yes, I have. I'm an ET. I'm a lifelong ET abductee. And welcome to my chat. Yeah, woo writers, that could be taken so many different ways. I know. Laugh my frickin' ass off. I know, I get it. Anyway, Michael Jones, will Jupiter pass Mars or will it go past Uranus? Oh, that's funny. No, if that's a serious question, I don't know. I don't have a freaking clue because I'm not into all of that. Those are things where you need to talk to somebody who is. I just know what's taking place. I don't know the ins and outs and keep very, very explicit records. I know people that do, that I could actually recommend you to, but of course I can't think of their name right now because, hello, I'm on the spot, which is what happens. That's part of my dyslexia. So it's just how it is. So yeah, I'm a lifelong ET abductee. I know I've said that earlier, but for the new ones that are coming in, my first memory is at 4 years old, which is why I've got this up there. That is what we call the Butterfly Nebula. I know it. Yes, I know that is the name of a planet. I'm just not saying it out loud again. And that's fine. But anyway, so 4 years old, I was abducted on board what we called we called it an alien craft back then. I call it an ET craft. But an ET ship. I looked out the window and saw this. I was specifically told it was called the Infinity Galaxy, but we know it as the Butterfly Nebula, and all kinds of pictures are taken of it, and it looks very different. It's similar to how this looks. It's got the pinks and the cream colors and, oh God, all sorts of stuff. And the oranges, but what I saw had blues in it. It had more different colors of pinks, different variations of pink. I do have a painting of it. I am not doing that right now. Hello, Philip. I am new here. I say hi to you all listening from South Sudan, Africa. Hello. Welcome to my chat. You hot up abducted? What do you mean hot? I think you mean a different word. I believe in reincarnation. Cool. So had many Drew says I've had many past lives. Entertainment, it's a trip having memories, parts here and there. Yeah, it really is, Drew. It truly is a mind bender when you start having memories of your past lives. I had one when I met not met, but I had been talking to somebody, and I was like, oh my God, I remember you. I just remember. And somebody else remembered them too. And I'm just like, kind of like you get what some people call mind fucked. I mean, it's just like, what the hell was that? It is incredible. 17-7 on the numbers right now. Interesting. Anyway, it becomes really interesting to me anyway, when you have these memories, when you start having pieces of them, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody and your third eye opens and your pineal gland opens. Yeah, agreed, Stone. She says, yep, a lot of you coming back online and remembering each other's frequency signature. Yes, I completely agree. It and it's incredible because each time I meet somebody like that, I'll talk about that in a minute, Michael. Each time you meet somebody and you have your chakra system react to that individual, your pineal gland opens up, third eye, all of it starts resonating, and then you start having flashbacks of memories. So that gets into what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I do too, Ange. Ange just says, I get emotional when that happens. Yeah, I do too. I get really high, like happy high, and then very excited, and then I want to sit and cry and curl up and like, oh my God, I remember them. I remember her. I remember him. Oh my God, what the? And then you're like, oh, that is so cool. Oh, that is so cool. So, she says, that's me. Yeah, I mean, it's a mind bender. It's hard to wrap your head around the knowledge, all the information, and it's all within us to begin with. It is all in us. Is just pulling out the soul memories, essentially. And yeah, each soul has a soul signature. Hello, think about that for a second. That's why I recognized Jesus the way I recognized him, because I recognized his energy from the other side. Hello, think about that one for a while. It is, I still have a hard time wrapping my head around that. That is just like, oh my God, he's sheer, pure, 100% pure energy, literally in a physical form. And no, not ET based, not yeah, I did. I didn't just see him. I met him. I knew him. I was around him. So Michael Jones is asking, did you see Jesus? Yeah, I knew him. I knew him before he was crucified. I have a very, very distinct memory of the sword going into his side. And I was a man in that lifetime, and I wanted to cry. I just, inside of me, I wept. And yet I knew that he was doing what he was supposed to. And yet people that got it, they understood. People who didn't wanted him dead. They it's a mind bender to me. No, he wasn't. But I don't have a memory. I remember hearing the nails going in. I was in a different section, not really far away, but when you hear people screaming in terror and people and nails going in through bones and wrists, and they're screaming, it leaves an impression. And it leaves an impression on your soul. And I wasn't around for that, but I was around. I mean, I heard it because I was within the area of being able to hear it. They were up on an inclined hill. I don't know how to describe it, but it was I need an artist. I need an artist that isn't going to charge me an arm and a leg. And I would have, man, they would have, if I have money coming in and I have an artist, I would have because I can't do what I need to do in my own art. It drives me nuts, but I'm no longer at the level I used to be when I was in high school and in college and all. I'm not into that level anymore of that kind of art. And if I have money, I would be those are things that I would do, because there would be so many artist renditions of my memories of past lifetimes, of all the ETs I have seen. And I mean, all the ones that I remember so far. There's so many different races and species of ET that I have seen. It's boggling my mind. It's mind bending to me. Everything from 12 to 15 foot tall spiders that are red and black and they were actually loving and caring until SSP came around. Then they were holy living terrors. I mean, they were trying to protect themselves and protect their planet, and SSP with government got into no, I heard it. Got into sorry, he's asking, you saw nails go into Jesus with a question mark. No, I heard it from a distance, short distance, but a distance. What I remember is the sword going into his side. And somebody said, well, he was dead by that point. No, he was just barely alive when they did that. And hang on. I'm in a physical reaction right now. Hang on a minute. I have a hard time with that. A really hard time with that. I remember standing in front of authority, pleading his case. I know who I was in that lifetime. I know why I'm named what I'm named now. My legal name, not Nikki. Nikki is a nickname that my family gave me early on, but my legal name. And so, anyway, so these past lifetimes, they can affect you. They can affect all aspects. It's a hard memory to remember, but I remember standing in front of authority who didn't want to listen. They wanted everything their own way. And it was wicked. It was truly beyond wicked. And it's why I did what I did later on after he died. And I know what I did and who I was with and who I remember. And it's interesting. You have your own opinion, Michael. Michael Jones is saying, just be honest, you didn't see or heard anything. Learn proper language, learn proper spelling, dear. Gramesh, Jesus is everything. This is so interesting and heartbreaking. Michael Jones, you need help. That's fine. That is your opinion. Need admins for trolls. Yeah, I've got admins. And there's a reason why I haven't removed him myself. So it depends on how it's being stated in my chat. So that's what I'm... So Gina, hi, welcome. Thanks for coming on in. So Woo Writers, render positive healings, energy. Oh, okay. That's for somebody else. So interesting. Yeah. Jesus, Gina, the memories that I've got, I've had bits and pieces of the memories, and I've not made them public until recently, this year. because I was getting horribly assaulted in my chat by people, and I just came out and I said, look, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God, a source. I have a memory of when he came to, in this lifetime, a friend of mine had died. Dear friend of mine had died, and I didn't know about it. He was living in California at the time. He had moved from Washington to, yeah, California. I had to think about that a second. And he had died, and I was told how he had died. He was trying to be a good Samaritan, and he was shot 3 times for doing it. And he was murdered, essentially. And I don't know if they ever caught the person. Desi says hello, Nikki. Oh, tell her I say hey. Hi, sweetie. Yes, agreed, Drew. Drew is saying you can ask questions. We might not agree on things, but please be respectful. That is my thing. We can have a conversation, but if you're going to be rude and disrespectful about things, you're out of here. This is my chat, and my mods know exactly how I am. There are things that I will allow, and things I absolutely will not. This is a conversation. The questions that Michael was making, they were good to a point, and that's fine. Dina, hello. Haven't been able to make it, but am awake and glad to catch this. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Gina. Stone, sharing experiences allows to find commonalities and growth. Everyone has a fantastic journey. Be respectful to the discovery. I completely agree, Stone. I completely agree. And it gets interesting real fast. I don't have to talk about any of this. I'm making a choice to talk about my memories, my experiences, and what I remember of my past lifetimes, and that they are real. There's just because I'm a psychic medium doesn't mean that, okay, here's something that people need to understand. This is something that I see all the time, and it drives me absolutely up a wall. Just because a person is has psychic abilities and has mediumship abilities and has energy abilities or what have you, just because they have those abilities doesn't mean that you see all and know all. It doesn't work like that. We live our lives, and when things pop up and creep up or crop up, however you want to say that, that's when the psychic stuff hits. And a lot of times you can be in the bathroom and have an unexpected psychic download, or you can be standing watching your kids swimming, at a beach or at a pool or whatever, and boom, all of a sudden you have a psychic download of whatever the information is. It can happen at any time. It doesn't matter where you're at. Manute, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Hello, Jesus loves you. Yeah, loves you too. Yeah, Drew is saying I see some things and times I don't. Ozzy Ann just saying 100% right, Nikki. Yeah, Drew is saying showers is where I usually meditate, and the most it's tiring because of the water. Yeah, right. Totally agree. Gina's saying right. So, we all have our own experiences. It's how we perceive things. It's how we view things and what our opinion. It's also how we are. I lost it. I lost the word. It was one word. Oh well. C'est la vie. That's life. So, okay, 1 second. I gotta take a drink. I was given this. I was like, it's really fucking good, and I'm real specific with stuff. Hang on 1 second. So tonight I was given homemade apple cider. I rarely drink homemade apple cider because usually not the greatest, because I'm real specific. And tonight somebody mixed it with a couple of different kinds of juices, and I was like, that I can drink. That is really wicked good. Edward, forming opinions. Yeah, it is forming opinions. Everybody, where I was going with that was that everybody has an experience regarding childhood, how you're raised, who you're raised around, what their beliefs are. Most people, you know, depending upon the religion or the spirituality, we all have experiences in our lives. And as those experiences move on, as we grow up, as we become adults, those perspectives change, they shift. And for some people, it's really hard to hear all of this kind of information. I get that. I understand that. I am so... Love you, Mom. So both of my parents are gone. My dad long time ago, my mom this year. I'm so thankful for my mom and for what she taught me to have an open mind and that it's okay to do that. She kind of wasn't allowed to, but yet at the same time she was. How do you explain that one? I had a grandfather, her dad, who openly had conversations at their dinner table about politics, about religion, about everything. And it's kind of like defend where you stand or don't speak. Well, when I came into the family, I couldn't handle that as a child. So I didn't speak because it was like the two of them arguing and fighting all the time. That wasn't conducive to how I couldn't do it. To me, it was too aggressive. And so for years, even up until this year, I don't typically talk about politics. I don't typically talk about religion because of what I experienced in my family. It was too freaking hard for me to deal with that. As a kid, even, do I look at different... Hey, Paramarv. First round of trolls. Yes, you did, dear. You missed them. Yeah. So... Yeah, Drew said she had to watch what she said specifically in certain ways. Yeah, completely, totally and completely. And it was really tough growing up like that. I learned to keep my mouth shut. And in a lot of ways that helped protect me, but in a lot of ways, it also made me in fear of talking. And I don't mean in fear of talking to my friends and my family, but I mean in fear of really standing my ground. And that wasn't okay. I mean, I learned all of that when I was going through counseling in the 1990s for the trauma I had been through. So, and it wasn't family trauma. Okay, here's something. So, as a 7-8-year-old kid, I was sexually abused at a daycare provider's house by their 15-year-old son, who was a predator perpetrator of other children in the daycare. And I ended up in the 1990s in counseling because I started having flashbacks and started remembering, and basically he had threatened my life and all this shit if I ever talked about it. And I've dealt with all of that. I talk openly about it now. It took me a long time to talk openly about it, but I talk about it because it's important to know if you've experienced that, you're not alone. There's so many of us out there. You're not alone. And you add the stuff with some of the good ETs combined with some stuff with the bad ETs combined with the governmental shit. Yeah, it makes for an interesting life, and it's difficult for people to grasp onto the fact that I can even publicly talk about this. I don't talk about this for attention. I talk about this because those that are experiencing it need to know you are not alone. There are many of us out there that have gotten through it. I don't know how else to say it. Gotten through is not the right way to say it. I get that. I understand that. But you can work through the emotions. It is scary as shit. And I understand that too. I've been down all those frickin' roads. Not easy to talk about. But I'm so thankful that I had different people in my life that were very supportive of me back then. They knew what it took. They saw what it was like. I made sure that my kid was well taken care of so that I could go to counseling, and then an hour, preferably 2 hours after my counseling sessions, I had time away as an individual, not as a mom, so that I could cope and so that I could process at least a small amount of it, and so that I could make plans as to how I could do the homework that I was given in counseling. I'm talking about this because it's so important that we as experiencers of all this different trauma, all this different shit in life, you got those that are experiencing it or have experienced it or are in counseling and you're dealing with this shit in counseling. You can get through it. It is hard as fuck to get through, but you can get through it. And I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I'm going into something different, but this all revolves, all of it comes back into play. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I don't frickin' claim to be. I already know people are going to look into my life and go, oh my God, see that. I don't care. I'm at a point where it's like, yeah, there's going to be embarrassing shit in my life that's going to come up. I get that. I know that. There's going to be some things that I'm going to be probably mortified about. That's life. I'm not happy about it, but that's life. That's how it is. That said, we can get through this. It's really hard to do, and you got to find the right people in your life that are willing to help support you go through it. Most of my people, they're now dead and gone. There's a few that are still alive and living, and I consider will forever be family to me. I am so incredibly appreciative of them. I love you folks. I can't even express what you guys did for me. And if I can do something like that for others, and just knowing, if I had somebody talking about this kind of stuff when I was experiencing it, because 1990s people, we didn't have this kind of shit going on. We didn't have this kind of tech going on. It wasn't out there. It wasn't available. So it makes a difference. Just know you're not alone. And I will forever say that over and over again. It's a big deal to hear it. You're not alone. One way or another, you can get through this. It is hard as shit to get through it. But it's also retraining your brain. It's also retraining different aspects of your life. And it can be achievable. Okay, so That all said, moving on to the ETs. And if you left, hopefully you'll come back because we're dealing with ETs now. All right. Drew is saying, when I was at daycare or at preschool, I led a rebellion that went up into a treehouse. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I did stuff like that too. I was very mischievous as a kid. My mom had her hands full with me. Trust me, I know really well. I remember my entire life, and I understand how rare that is. I understand. There's so many people that have told me, how the hell can you remember your entire life? That's how my brain was made, folks. I'm a dyslexic. I suspect I might be ADHD or ADD or something of that nature. I have not been tested for it, but I do suspect it. Because there are too many different varying factors, and I've learned recently that dyslexia also runs with ADHD in the brain. So there are things that I can get done and things that I have a really hard time doing. So, procrastination sucks shit big time. It's just awful. Anyway, which is one of the reasons why I suspect it. Also, perfectionism. I used to say perfectionism skipped a generation in my family, went from my grandmother to me. So there's that aspect of it. Anyway, ETs. So you add all of that up. Oh, yes. Hey, Para. Ozzy stagnation. Exactly. Stagnation makes a big difference. It gets really, if you get stagnant, man, things get fucked up real fast. Yeah, it's hard to get out of that. Gina's saying, I got diagnosed with it last December. Yeah, huge learning curve. Yes, it is a huge learning curve. Okay, I'm missing things in chat. Hang on. Each time they up the GS, the more memories that come back to us. Yes, agreed, Stone. Okay. Some of us are in chat. Yes, yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think I got it. Oh, I haven't hit. Oh, damn. I did it again. I did the chat filter. We're at top. I've missed messages. Yep. Shit. Okay. I'm real good at doing that, folks. You gotta remind me. I'm sorry. Huge learning curve. I'm an expert. Who's Lucky Marie? Oh, Lucky. Sorry. It took me a second. Sorry, Drew. Yeah, see, I've missed things in chat. Okay. Okay. All right. So, anyway, at least Puppy didn't gas you out of the truck. Yeah. Yeah, mine will. My dog will. Woohoo! But it's not often, so it's good. Oh, speaking of, oh my God, what a thing to remember. I had Sasquatch come in. I am in my bedroom right now, and I had my door closed. The dog wasn't in or out. I had been on my own for a couple of hours. No issues from me, baby. I'm sitting here writing, I'm listening to music, and I start smelling skunk. And I'm like, skunk? What the hell? And then I went, and I realized that I was picking up on energy that I wasn't paying attention to. And I felt ice cold air. Well, the heat had just come on. It shouldn't be ice cold air, excuse me, not hair. And then I'm smelling skunk. I'm like, okay. So I just had a Sasquatch do a check-in. And it's been a while since they've done it. Well, they've been doing more in the last 4 or 5 months, something like that. And it was a female. It was a female Sasquatch, and because I kind of peered around psychically, and I went, "Oh, but you're not talking to me. Why are you not talking to me?" And the sensation was just checking, and I went, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, they're doing their check-ins again. They're doing their check-ins again. And she had eaten, it felt and smelled like she had eaten a skunk a number of hours ago, because it was like an older smell. And I was like, oh gosh, okay. So I thought, whoops, my nose is starting to do its little droopy. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I hate doing that on camera. Oh, goodness sake. Okay, so, yeah, but she was clean. I mean, I could smell the fur, but she was completely clean. And I was like, well, I appreciate that, because sometimes you get some of the male Sasquatch that'll come in, and it's like, buddy, please wipe your butt. Please wash your ass. Because that's not a fun smell, folks. There have been a few times that, like, the dog has been upstairs, kind of sequestered in a room for a number of hours, and I'll be standing at the stove making kind of food of some sort, and all of a sudden we'll feel I used to hear a pop when they'd close the port. I don't hear the pop anymore. I feel it, but I don't hear it. It was really freaking loud in my head. But now I feel it more than I hear it. And that comes from the direct targeting that I've had. And then I'll smell like long, and the dog we've got short fur, really short fur. Well, what I am smelling is like dog fur that is like longer than that. That's at the base, but it's like that long. And I'm like, I'll turn around and go, oh, you're here. Hello. Am I making something for you too? The feeling is no. But they're checking. And it's unusual because it's typically been the boys that have been, the men that have been coming in, or the what I call the teenagers, or the youth. They're usually above the age of 17 when they come in, or at least that's the feel of them. Thank you for all the hearts. Really appreciate that. Was this a physical or ethereal Sasquatch? They opened a portal, and they had kept their physical presence in the. They did what the ETs do. They do a phase shift. It's okay. When there is a phase shift going, what I'm since learning this past week is that a phase shift is putting themselves into, it's like they're here, but they're in a different dimension at the exact same time. I don't have any other way to explain that. I wish I did, but I don't. Gina makes me think of how much I love stinky cheese. So good. Yeah, there's certain stinky cheeses that are pretty tasty when you mix them with other things, not by themselves, in my opinion. Anyway, so in answer, Para, was this a physical or ethereal? They were there physically. It wasn't an energy type of thing. Yeah, Ozzy Ange, remote viewing, but moving your ethereal body with you. This is different. They're actually opening a portal, walking through it, but they are invisible. Same room as me. Yeah, I understand, Amy. I know a lot of people that feel the same way about stinky cheeses. But they're physically there, but they have done this phase shift just like the ETs do, and if they allow that energy to be seen, then they come out of it and they will be physically standing there. It's how they can walk through. It's just exactly like what the ETs do. It's how they can walk through walls and portals. And I've got a very dear friend who can open portals. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Was the portals. But here's what I also wanted to talk about was different dimensions. Something that really hit this week, really hard, really freaking hard, was I had memories of past lifetimes on, I suppose you would say that, other planets that were in this solar system, but in a different dimension. I can't even, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that. I can't even, it's just like when I learned that ETs can be 2,500 years old, 1,200 years old, 2,500 years old. It's because their planet has a different time shift. I don't know how else to say that either. It's not a time shift. It's not time dilation, but a different sense of time on their planet. So where I had what I would have called a 36-year-old ET standing in front of me, and he told me he told me he was, I'm trying to remember, was he 1,700 years old by that point? And they lived to 2,500. I lost my shit over that. I mean, I was like, you're full of shit. I literally said, you're full of shit to an ET. And he's like, so he started to explain it to me. And I'm like, I still can't even wrap my head around it. I mean, I've accepted it to some degree, but I have a hard time wrapping my head around that. And I know he was telling me the truth. Even though I told him he was full of shit, I knew he was telling me the truth. How the hell did I know he was telling me the truth? Because I could feel the energy. He wasn't one of these ETs that have the ability to then be a deceiver. He was absolutely matter of fact. He was very much like some of the other ETs that I know that were very legalistic. But he had the energy, he had the emotion behind him, he had everything behind him. It was truly fascinating to me. And then I started asking questions, and he's like, if you're having a hard time with that, I'm going to wait before I tell you more information. And he eventually did later on in that meeting. But God, I'm here to tell you, it was hard. It took me over a year. I always say took me slightly under a year, but it took me slightly under a year to be able to accept it. Then it took me over a year to truly, in my whole body, go, oh, wow, okay, now I'm understanding this. So I can totally and completely understand why people, thank you so much for the hearts. My God, thank you, folks, thank you. It was really mind-bending, really hard with the human brain. Oh my God. That, and the other thing was that he told me that I was to call him a specific human name because we do not have the ability with our tongue, the way our tongue is designed in our mouth, we cannot verbally state their names. So if you have an ET telling you a human name or a human-like name, it typically can mean, not always, but typically can mean that they want you to be able to communicate with them and know them by more of a human name, even though, because we're not able to pronounce their name. Our tongue cannot roll and make the specific sounds that it takes to make that verbalize that name, or even say the name in our head. If they're telepathic, we cannot, because we can't grasp the concept of how to do that. There are muscles, there are ligaments underneath and in part of the tongue that will not, our tongues are too fat, essentially. That's what I learned. I don't know how else to say that any other way, but essentially what it boils down to is that our tongues are too fat and they aren't flat enough and they can't roll, and yet the muscles are not right. It makes sense to me now. I understand more of that. But yeah, the ETs I've seen, oh my God, I've seen every color you can imagine. Oh my God, I'm being reminded of the purple. Oh my word. Okay, so apparently I'm supposed to be talking about the purple. So that goes into a whole nother planet that's in a different dimension. I'm not saying names. That's a lifetime. Oh my God, so many lifetimes previous before this one. I now understand why I have such an affinity for purple, lavender, and pink sunsets. I mean, like really specific kind of sunsets. It's because of a different planet I lived on as an ET. The sky was like that on a regular basis. This what we would call sunsets and sunrises, completely different on that planet. But the sky was always radiated this gorgeous purple, lavender, kind of pink, but not pink. I don't know what else to call it. It's almost like it's iridescent, but it's not iridescent. There are no human words that will describe. Oh, there we go with the helicopters again. You know, the first 6 months I lived here, there were no helicopters flying overhead. None. 8 months in, and we start with the helicopters. Fun. Or the Air Force jets. Navy Air Force jets, yeah. That's an interesting one too. Anyhow, yeah, didn't have any of that. No, that's another interesting one. Okay, hang on, gotta take a swig of this. Okay. Wow, that is so good. I gotta find out what that recipe is. Because that is real. It's not apple juice. It's apple cider plus other things. And I'm like, wow, that is so good. And for me to even have like straight juice, oh my God, that is a big freaking deal. It's so much sugar. But it'll definitely keep me awake for this. Anyway, Drew is saying it's complicated human brain, complex memory, and thinkings. Yeah, it really is. Drew is also saying with Geraldine Orozco meditations, I will go into other realms when I doze off. It's really strange and different. Yeah, I completely agree. If you hit a meditation that you're listening to while you're fully relaxed saline. Oh my God, 1111 on the numbers. Hello, pardon me, totally unexpected. Look up and see that. And I'm vibrating. What the I'm vibrating right now. Hello. Something's about to happen. That's a psychic vibration. That is not being targeted. This is different. Wow. That's a mind bender. Whew, a lot of things are mind benders to me. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing to me what the human body and the human brain can do. It's just stunning to me. Wow. And now it's starting to dissipate. Fascinating. Okay, hang on. I got a burp coming in too, all at the same time. Okay, sorry folks. Anyhow, wow. That's wild. Whew. Really wild. Wow, okay. Sorry, I just totally and completely threw me. It was as if the hierarchies were. Oh. I know where I'm going to be tonight. Holy cripes. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be making it to Sunday. So I don't mean Sunday. I mean, well, those that know, you know what I'm talking about. Wow. I'm gonna be abducted tonight. Whoa. I usually don't get it like that, but that was hierarchy stuff that just, wow. Okay, that's a trip and a half. Oh, and just got told they're checking on something. Good. That needs checked on. Good. About frickin' time. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Huh. Total mind. See, it's total mind bender to me. I'm just kind of stunned. So I am an experiencer of a lot of information, but here's the thing, folks. You can be an experiencer and either completely not believe any of it, be somebody who is an experiencer and are trying to understand, wrap your head around the information, or you can be an utter denier. Do you know how many people on this planet are completely and utter denying what has happened to them? And then there are people that just outright don't want to know. I used to think that the experiencers on this 1111 on the numbers 114 1111. Wow. Okay. What the fuck was I saying? It totally threw me. I used to be of the mindset that, oh, this is what I wanted in my life. Oh, I'm gonna be that. And that was after they were trying to wipe my mind of information. And I've not done hypnosis. You guys, most of you who are consistent followers of mine know why I don't. Those that do not understand that or have this is your first time hearing me, I'm not doing as much as I actually want to now. I'm not doing hypnosis regression because I have psychically seen that in the future, some way, somehow, our United States Congress makes a major freaking shift. Do you know what it's going to take for that to happen? To make the shift that they sorry, I got an eyelash that's bugging me. That they are going to have to make in order to make this kind of a shift. This is huge. I mean, really freaking huge, people. So what I have seen is that the U.S. Congress makes such a shift to where we are no longer having military whistleblowers. That phase is over with by what I have seen. And it becomes the experiencers who are in front of Congress. The experiencers with the knowledge, with exactly what had happened to us. The fact that we are able to definitively name names, officers, military officers' names who are in the deep space, who are part of the deep programs of the different governments of this planet. And we come before Congress. Do you know how big of a deal that is? Do you have any concept? And people will say, oh, that's bullshit. It's never going to happen. We're never going to make that change. It happens. There's more of us that are psychic mediums that are experiencing that as psychic downloads. Many of us are experiencing that. And some are not making the connection. There are some of us who are. I'm one of them. I'm one of the ones that are talking about it publicly. Not a lot of them are talking about it publicly, but I am one of them that is talking about it publicly. It is a big deal. It means that U.S. government changes. Do you comprehend what that really means? They shift and change in such a way to where there is what has to happen on this planet for that to take place, where they make such an incredible change in government from the horrific shit that is going on now, to a major shift to where they are openly having very specific individuals come forth and tell them the names, the things that took place. And that's public, because that, oh, and by the way, YouTube, I know you're listening. YouTube sticks around for a long frickin' time. I do not have human biological grandchildren yet. I have had psychic downloads to where YouTube is going on at a time when I have a grandchild who is 19 to 25 years old watching these YouTubes that I have done, YouTube live broadcasts that I have done now since 2022. That is huge. Do you have any concept of that? Do you comprehend what that means? There's going to be 1212 on the numbers again. There's going to be a major change on this planet. It will change to positivity. But to do that, it means getting through the nightmarish shit that is taking place now that is so detrimental to people. How does that shift happen? I don't know. Do I care? Yes, I care. But there's so much information involved in that. And I know that she, and I'm saying, well, there's numerous different she's that I know, that there are numerous individuals, but a few of the females that I know of that are not born yet, whether they're family or not, biological family or not, they're going to be writing books on all of us. And they're going to be truth bomb books. I mean, they are going to be major books. And they will take this planet by storm. And the publishers are going to be appalled by the sales of these books and these audio things. I don't know what to call them, because what we call audio books are not going to be called audio books at that juncture. They're going to be called something else. That's going to be very different. It's all positive. It's a gigantic shift on this planet. But to get us to that gigantic shift, we got to get through the crap that's going on now. And we got to live it, and we got to serve it to make those changes. Oh my word, I just got told name of a song. It's a Michael Jackson song. Something about gonna make a change. I can't think of the name of the song, but I can hear him singing it. God, I can't think. It's an 80s song. Anyway, the point is, if you remember it, please write it in the chat. I can't think of the name of the song, but anyway, yeah, I mean, when I met, no, I gotta, that's not the right words. When I spoke with certain people this week, a lot of information opened up. A lot of information. This is huge. Please take note of this. If you are in a depressive state, first seek help. Find professional help. Start, and I don't know how else to say this. If you are not able to afford it, start seeking self-help books. Start seeking other things, other options to where you can learn and better yourself. Then seek the help that you need, but know that this life changes so significantly, and it is us getting through it all. We have to hold tight. We have to sit tight. However you want to word that, however you want to phrase that, we have to get through it, and we will. No, Gina's saying we are the world. No, it's not that one. Gonna make a change in my life. It's Michael Jackson. I can't even call his voice up to get from brain to my mouth. That's my dyslexia. Sorry folks. It's, I know it when I hear it. When I remember it, I will try to remember to put it in to the chat, the comment section underneath this video, after this video is over with. Now speaking of which, with the way I am right now, I'm probably not going to remember that. So let me get it written down in my journal. Okay, Michael Jackson. Gonna make a change. Is the lyrics. Gonna make a change for once in my life. I'll be damned. Well, hello. Hello, sir. It's in my life. Yeah. Wow. I never expected. Wow. Wow. Okay. I need to not say anything. I've got so much to say, but I can't say, Dad, keep it. Wow. I've had people come to talk to me, but wow. Then I've had very. And I got a smile. Wow. Okay, I've had very political people here with me, not in this apartment, but I've had very, all deceased, very political people. I've had comedians. I've had what I would call serial killers. What I would call. I've had actors. I've talked. Oh my God, very specific individual. That just totally. Wow. Okay. Interesting. And I'm not saying anything publicly about what I'm being told. Okay. Heal the world for you and me in the entire race, says Drew. Okay. It's the one Andrew was quoting. I meant, oh, okay. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. The one you're thinking of is the one where they are spreading like gold dust over the landscapes. Can't remember the name, but remember the video. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go look it up. It's gonna drive me nuts. Wow. Not very many people from the other side actually just mind boggle me. That just mind boggled me. I was like, whoa. Oh. Speaking of which, did you know that certain political people, high ranking political people, when they die, found this out the hard way, when they die, they come back to talk to different psychics, different mediums, but they come back with angels protecting them. Drew, what's that? What's that link to? Is that the link to the song? If it is, I will look it out. Look it up. Oh my God, look it out. Jeez. Anyway, Nikki posted it. Nikki, I posted it. Okay. Thank you. And I appreciate that. Yeah, those individual political people, they come with angels as protection. I find that incredible. We're talking the political person themselves all the way to their family come with guards to talk to people. And I'm here to tell you, you have no idea how big of a frickin' deal that is. I had no idea that they get protected like that. None whatsoever. It was mind-blowing when I found that out. Really mind-blowing. And the person that I spoke with made me make a promise to them. I will never reveal who they are. And I will stick to that till the day I die. No way in hell. But I'm here to tell you, it was a true eye-opener and mind-bender. I had no... Sent it to your Facebook Messenger. Okay, thank you, Drew. I had no idea. I thought they were like everybody else. I had no freaking idea. And they come with their angel. They come with very specific angels, very specific kinds of angels, and they get surrounded. You're not just talking any ordinary angel either, by the way. Heal the world. Okay, thank you, Drew. Yeah. It astounds me every freaking time something like that happens. Now, I didn't have that sensation when this individual came by. They're watching from afar right now. Really kind of cool. Mindbender. Really a mindbender. See, I'm like stymied for words now. I'm like, holy crap. Somebody very famous just came by and I'm like, holy shit. Wow. Anyway. God, I'm just sorry. This is what happens when I have somebody that is. It's like when John came by and when Miss Marilyn came by, and I was bawling with them. I actually sat and bawled when they came by. And I just got told to stop name dropping. Okay. But when others have come by, I'm like, it's totally blown me out of the water completely. I was just, I'm stunned. I was like, what the hell do you say? I was just like, okay, so ETs. I wanted to talk about the ETs. Oh, wow. I gotta take this one in. This is just, I gotta kind of let it go too, because I gotta be able to talk. Wow. ET stuff. So, the variation of ET. Oh, and I just got told hybrids. So when the ETs decide to start showing up bit by bit at a time and then en masse, whatever. Wow. I'm just stunned. Hybrids are going to be involved. There's a lot of hybrids already on this planet. A lot of hybrids already on this planet. And that's going to be pretty significant. Sorry. Okay. It's a confirmation yawn. Wow. And I'm getting lightheaded, and it's not lightheaded from physical, it's lightheaded from energy. It's wow. Okay, this is a mind bender, folks. Wow. God. Somehow the hybrids are going to help humanity accept the changes. Oh my God, does that mean my children too? Yeah, I just got a loud, resounding yes. Okay, so I've got 30. I've got 30 plus. I just got told not to say the exact number. I've got 30 plus hybrid children. And some of them are going to be involved. And some of my grandchildren. Hybrid grandchildren. Oh my God. Holy crapes. They're all going to be involved in helping with humanity on this shift. Quote unquote, this is going to come out the wrong way, you guys. Seriously? Do you really? Okay, I'm getting told. Say it. We're going to help cross over the planet. Quote, end quote. Quote, we are going to help cross over the planet, end quote. Meaning they're going to help with the shifting. Thank you for the hearts. Drew, yes, is the one. I'm not sure it's the same song you're thinking of, but it's close to what I was thinking. Okay, thanks. And I've seen the ships in my dreams for years. They fill the sky, all different shapes and sizes. Yes. Gina, I was rescuing children from a facility where human government was trying to create hybrids. Saw a tank filled with liquid and a sort of hybrid child. It was a dream, but very, very... It was a dream? Gina, you and I needed to have a conversation privately. Okay, one thing that I'm going to say, and Ozzy Ange, you know where I'm going to go with this. Well, so does Stone, actually, too. There's a few people that are going to be watching later that know what the hell I'm talking about. Sorry, folks. I'm kicking in some of my pain levels right now. Hang on. Okay. Shit, I lost the train of thought because of that fucking pain. That and my missing time stuff all goes together, I think. Yes, it does. Okay, so I need to reread chat for a second, folks, to get my get my information back. Ship for years, sky, all different shapes and sizes. Dreams. Okay. Sorry, folks. I hate doing that on camera. Okay, so the dreams. One of the ways that ETs, that both the good ETs and the not so good ETs who work with government deal with the human brain is their form of control is making the human believe that what they are experiencing is via a dream state, when in point of fact it's not. And to me it's point of fact because this is what I've experienced, this is what I've learned from the good ETs. Also, I've learned this from the ones that are doing hybridization programs, and others. I also learned it from the ETs that are working with the human governments of this planet. So I learned that a very different way, which I'm not going into because it was very traumatic to learn it. Very traumatic. That, and it pisses me off, and I still haven't worked on that anger level yet regarding them. So I've worked on my other anger levels, but I just haven't worked on that yet. And it's probably for good reason. But yeah, the ETs, those that do abductions, that have the ability, yes, I agree, Oziange. When you learn to wake up on your dreams, you see the truth. Yes, you do. Very, very much so. God, it's truly when you wake up, and it's more than just waking up out of a dream state. It's literally when your mind wakes up as to what is really taking place with you. It's a mind bender. It almost becomes like a mind trap because you get into this state of, holy shit, this is real. And when you make the realization of this subject is real, it's hard to handle at first. It's really hard to handle at first, making the realization that one is an ET abductee, that these things are really taking place. Because humanity is so controlled by vast government narratives. And it's us taking back the human narrative, and you have to take it back. Or the degradation, the humiliation, the mind traps, the crap that they have been doing and have been teaching everybody. They've been teaching everybody to fear the ETs. There are good ETs out there. There are bad ETs out there. There are ones that are truly vicious, but there are love and light ones. And they're not all love and light. Where the people that are saying, oh, they're all love and light, get rid of them. They are full of shit. Now, that said, it may be that's the only thing that they've experienced. Think of that one too. Very frustrating on my part, because they're not talking about the fact that, oh, this is my experience, this is all I've seen. They're outright making the statement and the claim that all ETs are that way in what they experienced. That is not the truth. That is their personal truth. It is not truth for everybody. And that's what I have a hard time with. They need to be making those statements. This is my truth. This is what I have personally seen and what I have personally experienced. It may not be what everybody experiences. And they're not saying that. They're saying it that it's only this way. That's when I take issue with it. That's when when the rubber meets the road, that's really where I get very, very upset with people. And it's like they're full of shit. Well, then I backpedal and I'm like, well, okay, maybe they're not full of shit, but it's how they're talking about it. Ozzy denial, then tried to figure out what happened. Yeah. So real and true, Nikki. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very frustrating to go into somebody else's, doesn't matter if it's YouTube or, I was going to say Twitch. That's not what I meant. Some of these other, I can't think of what they are. I got a brain fart. I can't think of what these other live broadcasts are or replays are. I can't think of all the there's so many of them going through my head. I can't seem to grasp even one of them right now. But the point is that they're on a broadcast. They're talking about this publicly, but they're not stating it correctly. And it leads people to believe that there's only love and light, whereas other people are saying, no, there's only viciousness and horrificness. Same situation. There's all of it. It's just like humans. There's good, bad, vicious, and indifferent. We're all like that. All humanity has all those different levels. It's the same thing with the ETs. Please share this out. I kid you not. This is actually one that I would ask people to please share this out on all of your social medias. This is the kind of stuff that needs to be talked about. I talk about a large, wide range of information. I think this, in my personal opinion, should be the one that should be talked about. You've got the past lifetimes, you've got the Jesus information, you've got the ET information. It's all relevant, folks. All of it is relevant. And it's hard. It's going to be hard because I know, I get it. People, in the grand scheme of things, this is scary shit to a lot of people. It freaks them out exponentially. Hello, preaching to the frickin' choir. Been there. I'm waving my hand. I've been that route. I've done it. I understand. It is a major life-altering situation. I understand that. But please, if you are an experiencer, state that it is your experience. This is how you view it. It may not be everybody's experience. Everybody's experience is different. It might be similar, might be real freaking close to the same, but it's not the exact same. And that's what people need to grasp the concept of. Your experience is not going to be exactly like somebody else's. I know ET abductees who are, just like me, human surrogate hosts to hybrids. Their experience is real freaking similar than mine, but it's not precisely exact. That's the difference. And it's hard for people to handle this. These are subjects that are not easy for people to grasp the concept of. I totally get that. I mean, just because I'm an experiencer doesn't mean that I understand all of it. Hell, I'm still trying to grasp and handle some of the science information. The fact, okay, to me it's fact. See, just caught myself. To me, it's fact. In a past lifetime, where I had numerous other people who had the same, how do I say this? Similar memories as I did. Where when you come together with your soul family, you unexpectedly unlock doors that you never anticipated coming. Even if you're a psychic medium, there are certain things you have a feeling over it. But when you meet somebody and it is blindingly bright and you've got the information and it's just, and then you all start talking, it is a mind shift beyond anything you can fathom. And it can make major differences in your life. It can open up a whole new world. The fact that I remember, to me it's fact. Can I prove it? At this moment in time, no. But I lay odds that at some point in my life, yes, I will be able to prove it. How, I don't know. But I've got this niggling feeling that I will be able to prove what I'm talking about. Exponentially. I don't know how it's going to come about. I don't have a clue as to how it's going to come about. But I know I'm going to be able to prove a lot of everything that I've talked about. Definitively prove. And the kind of proof that I want, that is scientific based, that is, say for example, an ET standing next to me that's not AI generated, that is not this crap things that people are doing. Real ET talking, verbally talking, hybrid talking, scientifically proven, blood drawn from them, proven, skin sample, proven, hair sample, proven, DNA, proven. It will happen. When? I don't have a damn clue, but I can feel it in me. And if I'm having that kind of a feeling now, some big stuff is about to change. Big stuff. I don't know how long we're looking at. I don't have a clue. Does that frighten me sometimes? Yeah, it can. But I don't have to live in fear. That's the thing. These governments, they want us to live in fear. To become angry, to become violent, to become individuals who sound like we're absolutely stark raving, lunatically crazy. And we're not. We are experiencers who have experienced something that is hard to wrap our own mind around. What do you say to that? That is an extreme form of control. That is the kind of control and manipulation that this planet does not need. It's all about greed, money-making, control. Greed and control. And that, in a lot of the way of ETs of thinking, is wrong. I agree. It is very wrong. Woo Riders, question, Nikki, do the... Oh God, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. 13 on the numbers. Sorry. 1 second. Okay, apparently that was the end of it. Okay. Woo Riders, question, Nikki, do the NHI hybrids artificially inseminate you? They implant a fertilized egg. I do not... I know how the... Sorry, I got a brain fart going on. I'm trying to answer your question, and all I can think of is SSP at this second. I know how SSP does it. They do it the old-fashioned insemination way. And your legs are left upright. As a female, your legs are... don't have Facebook, Peters. Okay, so if you don't have Facebook... hello, Peter, and welcome to my chat. 1414 on the numbers. 151. That's interesting. Got a lot of interesting numbers right now. You don't have Facebook. If you need to contact me on my email at restorebelief2022@gmail.com. Or you can also leave me a public comment message underneath any one of my videos. I will eventually see it and I will respond to you. Leave me an email if that is how you want to go about doing it, or you can email me if you have an email account. I'm only on Facebook and YouTube. I do have an account with X. I'm not on it. I do have an account with Rumble. I'm not on it. I don't have the technology that I need. 1414 on the numbers. I do not have the technology that I need to... yes, I can see you. Oh, he's saying Andrew. I do not have the technology I need in order to do live broadcasts across all channels. I don't have that technology. I don't have that kind of money to do it. You have to have regular income. I don't have regular income, so it doesn't work. So I do what I can do, and this is what I can do. So Drew, it looks like Peter is trying to say hi to you, so hello. Ozzy Ange, everyone's life experiences are different, so would our experiences with ETs. Correct. Totally and completely correct. I completely agree with that statement. Ange, okay. Whoops. Hit a button. Sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Denial, then try... Oh, here we go with the back and the weird sounds of the... this thing. Chair. Couldn't think of what... Ozzy and denial. Then try to figure out what happened. Yep. It's all dead. Gina, it's all definitely real. Gina, I definitely know I go places when I sleep. Always have and always fight evil and rescuing people, pulling them away from the grip of those type of places in different times and realms. Yep. So you're an astral travel when you're an astral traveler when you go to sleep. That's actually a lot of people. That's what happens with a lot of people. That my missing time stuff all goes together. I think yes, it does. I know people that have driven with their spouses down roads, and they've got missing time. They don't even know that they're gone, and they're down the road in an like great lengths. Many miles have transpired, and neither one of the individuals know how they got down the road. Miles down, miles, way longer, farther than any of them. Yeah, all your comments were to Andrew. Okay, good to know. So people have experienced that kind of stuff. Okay, got it. Sorry, I got it. I've got itchy skin, and it's okay. Product placement. If you don't know this product, please look it up. Kid you not, this stuff is awesome. I highly recommend this company. God, this stuff is just phenomenal. Anyway, sorry. Okay, hopefully no fart sounds from this bottle. Okay, good. None. Anyway, yeah, look up that product. That is really Jean, Gean, Jean Lecorian. Yes, all three eyes. Hard when God says, believe in Jesus, only no other false gods. Well, apparently reading that caused a problem with my internet. Isn't that fun? God says, believe in Jesus, only no other false gods. Okay, so that's a different ball game. That's a completely different ball game. Yeah, YouTube's been wacky lately. That's an understatement. There's been some weird stuff going on with YouTube. Plus, they've done some updates I came across that just, oh God, the top of this hand is just really starting to hurt. It's getting super itchy and it's starting to hurt. So, yeah, just be careful. Just be careful with what you're dealing with, how you're doing things. Fact that there's a source. And some ETs believe and others do not. So, is what it is. You can only do what you can do. You can only believe what you can believe. And sometimes we have to expand our knowledge base and expand our human brain in information. And that gets really freaking hard, people. I understand what that's like. It's not easy. Gina, okay, getting sleepy. Glad I caught your live. Good stuff as usual. Night, night, everyone. I'm glad you came in. Thank you, Gina, for talking. 14 on the numbers. Thank you for coming in and asking questions and talking about your experiences. It's very appreciated. That's what this channel is for. That's one of the other reasons is I wanted other people that if they are experiencers, they have a place that they can come and talk. And it's okay to do that. Yeah, come back. As Drew says, be safe, Gina. Welcome back anytime. Yeah, that's exactly how I think and believe. Thank you, Drew, for saying that. Okay, here goes the nose again. Sorry, guys and gals. Sorry. Woo! That was... Wow. That got wicked fast. Whoa. So just... Okay. At the old... I get a lot of what is it, Gen Z or I don't know what they're calling themselves now. Anyway, I get a lot of comments on this. Oh, that's the 1990s. I'm like, it's just what was given to me. It's what works. It's what works. Okay, come back for sure. Been in a very dark place and feeling lighter in here. I'm glad you feel lighter in here. That's what I'm talking about. We need that kind of stuff. We need that ability to feel like we're safe to talk. We need that ability to feel the light and feel the presence. Blessings all. El Graco? Cute woman. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyhow, so it's 5 minutes after 12. It's about, I was just going to say I got going just a little bit late. We're 2 hours on the clock, 10 and 14 on the numbers. Anyway, for whatever, what's the background? Oh, whoa, somebody just mentioned Three Eye Atlas. Man, I did not want to talk about Three Eye Atlas tonight. Son of a... Sorry. Okay. Background. Butterfly Nebula, and then everything to do with space is the wall tapestry on the wall. And are you an astronomer? No, I'm not. I'm an ET abductee. I know that freaks people out. I saw that when I was 4 years old, only was known to me from the ETs as the Infinity Galaxy. Found out in 2019 that it's called the Butterfly Nebula by, they got pictures of it from the James Webb Telescope and from NASA. So that's how I know it. But I've known it since I was 4 years old. And it looked very different. So I'm not an astronomer. I'm not into, I'm into astrology, but yet I'm not. I know people that are so much, that's their thing. So if you need referrals, hit me up afterwards and I'll give you the names of different people that I would actually trust regarding that kind of information. When you went up, did you feel weightlessness? No, because when you're on board craft, when you're on board ship, let's try to say this again. When you are on board a true ET ship, extraterrestrial ship, there's a time dilation on the ship, number one. Number two, gravity is always there. Number three, the inside of the ship is living consciousness. And the inside of the ship will shift into, the metal will shift into whatever you want it to be or need it to be. So if you need to go potty, they will usually provide a place for you to do that. Sometimes they don't, and they want you off board immediately because humans will contaminate their ships with their urine and their... So, yeah, there's different ET viewpoints about that. So, oh, shucks, I would have really liked to feel weightlessness. Yeah, same. No, there's very much a lot of love on those ships, usually. But if you're dealing with, hey, Suda, I can't even pronounce the I can pronounce the Suda, but not the rest of it, like the Terminator morphine robot. Kind of. How else do you say that? It's kind of like that. So what's going on? I'm an ET abductee. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also a Christian. People have a hard time with that. Understood. Psychic medium, ET abductee. I deal with paranormal on a daily basis. Deal with Sasquatch semi-regularly. Fae and the hierarchies and all of that. If you don't want to stay, it's time to move along. If you want to stay and listen, that's fine. Terminator morphine robot, kind of. So when I was on board that ship, I was 4 years old. There was a group of us kids and a group of adults who were kind of I had no other way to say this, but they were corralling us kids. They were being controlled by the ETs and by this group of ETs. And one moment I had seen this wall and a window that was really far up on the wall. And I remember thinking, I want to look out that window. What's out that window? Because I kept seeing what I could only describe back then, as light going by in blackness. And I was like, why is there light going by? It made no sense to me. So I turned around, and this all happened within seconds, folks. 4:14 on the numbers. This all happened within fractions of a fraction of a second. I turned back around. Something's going on with other kids. And I hear this kind of, for lack of better words, this whooshing sound. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh kind of sound. I turn back around, and there's stairs. Kid size, 4-year-old size stairs, set of stairs that go up to this platform. And then the platform went underneath the window. Those stairs were not there before. How the hell did those stairs get there? Well, it wasn't until 2020? Trying to remember what year that was. That I realized, because of another memory that I had, that the ship had done it. It was truly a mind bender, and I had such a hard freaking time in grasping that knowledge, grasping what I saw in 2020 or whatever year it was. And then when I started having more memories of that and not being so terrified of some of the memories that I had, well, I still don't like some of the memories because the stench in the room was awful. It was so nasty. And now I understand that some of the ETs were their version of defecating through their skin, which is why they were, and it sloughs off and lands on the floor, and there's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother, I can't imagine what that must have been like. Yeah, when you're a little kid and you see something like that, it is beyond what you can conceive of. And you're just like, oh, okay. And you get back into, and you want to ask questions, but you know that it's not okay to ask questions quite yet. Other kids, it's interesting because none of us kids were talking, were verbally. We were telepathically talking to each other, to the adults, to the ETs. We could all hear each other, all the questions, all the self-talk. We could hear each other's self-talk. Mindbender. Truly. Major mindbender. Like seeing a ghost or something, maybe, kind of. How do you explain that? I mean, I've been trying to explain this since 2018. I don't publicly. How do you? It's really massive. And the ETs, I've learned so much this past week alone. It's just so incredible, some of the realizations I've made. Did the aliens telepathics... Oh my God. See, this is where my language is starting to kick in. It's having a hard time now. Did the aliens telepathically speak in English? Yes. Whatever. Hang on. About to burp. Hang on. Okay, so whatever the language. How do I say this? Whatever language you were speaking of your own language was stated, it was like it was converted to English. I don't know how to explain that any other way. There was a kid who was speaking Spanish in his head, but I heard it in English. How is that possible? How is it that I was just about to out whether it was a boy or a girl, and I'm not going to do that. I was allowed to hear this kid's, we all were, thoughts. But they were speaking Spanish. And I didn't understand. I now understand it, but I didn't understand it then. It made no sense to me. I knew it was a different language. I knew I had heard it before, but not very often in my regular life on Earth. How do you... That's the first time I've talked about that. Amy, okay, it's like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta go back. Drew, it's an educational live stream about past experience and ET abductions, yes. Amy, weightlessness and panels of toggle switches and dial gauges, and the sounds of electric fans so loud they sound like a vacuum cleaner. Classic spacecraft. That's not at all what I've experienced. Oh, you're talking about a human classic spacecraft. Got it. Yeah, that's not what these are like at all. Okay, I'm getting buzzed, so just a minute. What the hell's going on? Okay, so I don't need to deal with any of that yet. Yeah, regarding the ET stuff, it's like it's digitalized in a way that is so beyond our comprehension, so way beyond anything we even use now. I can only describe certain things that come out of what look like the ceiling or out of a wall that then look like either a piece of glass or plexiglass. It's more like glass because it's completely see-through. It's usually blue light. I've seen other colors, and it's written in ET languages, completely different than human languages. A lot of symbols on it. There are buttons, but it's not raised buttons. They are like on a screen like what we've got now, where you press something and it's there. It's very different than even that. I don't know how else to say it. And the energy, you don't actually have to physically touch it. Your energy, now this is what happens with me now, it is, so that to me is nothing new, but like I can have my finger that far or even that far above a touch screen, and I have to keep my hands away. I have to keep my energy away because I can actually, it doesn't happen all the time, but when I'm at a certain level in my own physical body's energy, I can actually energetically touch those buttons and they will do whatever. And a lot of this stuff is like you actually have to physically touch it to make it work. Well, not with me and many others like me. All you have to do is put your hand above the item and your energy of your finger just automatically starts whatever the button is. It's a mind trip to me. Whoa, did it again, hit a button. And even with the thrusters outside, sounds like howitzers going up. Yeah, she's talking about human machinery. Ghost maybe sent. Did the alien speak? Okay. What do you think their intentions was? Are we like zoo animals to them? Depends on which race of ET you're dealing with. Do you remember something said to you? Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Something they have said to me. There's all sorts of things I've remembered. They, from childhood, they've called us infantile. Humans are infantile, quote unquote. Humans are infantile, quote, end quote. How was that? Basically, humans are children. I've been told that all my entire life by them. Even when I'm 57. I was told that in my 30s. God, I was told that from the time I was little, through my 30s, through my 40s, even now. We think differently than we should right now. And it's very frustrating to them because we are so heavily controlled by the global governments to be that way. And it's very frustrating to them. Amy, that kind of sensitivity of controls getting activated from a distance scares the crap out of engineers. Oh, I'm sure it does. El Draco, like immature from their perspective? Yeah, because they are so far advanced than we are. It's truly a mind bender. Amy, even on modem... Oh, excuse me, I said that wrong. Even on modern human spacecraft, touchscreens are not up to spec yet. Yeah, they're not. I fully agree with that. They're nowhere near. But when you're dealing with, like, government dealing with, global government dealing with SSP, Secret Space Program, or as I know it as Mars Defense Force, and a number of other names that for whatever reason I can never seem to remember on the spot during a live broadcast. It's very frustrating. It's very different. They're real close to, I was just going to say hybridized. Jeez, Nikki. They have, how do I say this? They have cannibalized and reverse engineered ET technology and have made it their own. And there's a major difference. When you're on board a real ET craft, a real ET ship, versus on board a militarized human/ET ship, very different. The technology is very different. The metal is not conscious. The metal is not morphing. It is metal. Or some some divisive form of metal. Yeah, I have. El Draco, have you tried doing like artist renderings of what you saw? Yeah, I have, and I used to be an artist, especially in high school and college, and after I had my human son and all of that, I got too busy and too active in my life, and I started losing a lot of those abilities. I didn't maintain them. So if you're an artist, please maintain your artist abilities. I've got my artistic abilities. I've still got them, but it's nothing like it used to be. And that's very frustrating to me because I dealt with life instead. So yeah. Just rendered. So yeah, I am looking for an artist that can give the other artist renditions of what I've seen. I have done things with Facebook Meta AI to at least get some of the information, somewhat looking like what I've done. So I'm going to see if I can pull this out without giving away. See if I can find it. There's hang on one second. I've got an entire page of sorry, going back through my old psychic journal. I know I've got it. I just got to find the damn thing. Yeah, very frustrating. Hang on, guys. Go page by page. Oh, here's one. Inside of a mountain, rocky, and a lot of dirt. I've seen that. That's an ET ship. That was from a Man in Black. But, well, the information, the psychic information was mine. And that's what I was psychically shown was an ET ship that got stuck inside of a mountain. Literally stuck inside of a mountain. Hang on. Trying to go page by page. It's an entire frickin' page of what I saw when my mom and I were abducted from I-5. I don't remember the year at this second. I had a glimmer of it, and now I'm not, of course, when I go to look for it, I'm not finding it. Whoops. There we go. Let's see. Sorry, guys. It's going to take me a moment. The hell? Oh, yeah. Okay. Another drawing, but that's not something that's for public use. Oh, for frick's sake. Hang on. I know you're here. I know I see it. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Now that's frustrating because there's one of them, but I did a bigger drawing. I just didn't want to have to show the little shit. That's about Three Eye Atlas. Yes, it's real. Got told to talk about it tonight while on live. I don't want to frickin' talk about it while I'm on live. It's real. It will happen. They're around. It's not a big deal. Everybody's making a big deal out of it. Well, it is a big deal, I suppose, but it's just frustrating the way... Where the hell is this picture? It takes up an entire fucking page. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now I gotta put up a... because none of that is your business. Just a minute. 1 second. So, September... Okay, there we go. I can deal with that. That's fine. 1973, 1974 is when this happened. Southbound I-5 going up mountain towards the peak. So hang on 1 second. There we go. So we're in the process of traveling up a mountain, southbound I-5. We're about to come around a curve. No other vehicles were around at the time, and obviously all the trees because it was forested down there. And the ship, that's what it, well, sort of looked like. It was more, it wasn't, well, it was partially round. So anyway, we were in a van. So yeah, anyhow, there's that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that the way it is. So yeah, I do have things that I've drawn. They're very basic, rudimentary. God, my back. Anyhow, do any of the sci-fi movies get it right, or at least approximate? Yes, actually, some do. Some sci-fi movies do. There's certain things that I have seen that I'm like, holy I start screaming at the TV. And times I start having more flashbacks. There's been a major slow drip factor in Hollywood. There's been a slow drip factor for 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, long freaking time. Long time. It's mind-bending. It really is. Oh, God, I gotta get my hair cut. Driving me nuts. I've never heard that before, Nikki. Alien waste systems in their bodies. Oh, Drew, yeah, a lot of certain races of ET, they defecate through their skin. And it sloughs off them onto, if it's a true ET ship, it sloughs off them onto the floor. The floor takes it in, puts it into some kind of waste disposal thing. I don't understand any of that. And it's like the floor never had any of it, but the smell, oh, God, it's wicked. It's vilely wicked, Drew. It's just gross beyond description. Good ETs and bad ones. Yes, there are. Like transported into the mountain. Yeah, okay, El Greco, what's like the most interesting thing from your experiences, like something they said or something they showed? Most interesting. Ooh. You know, that at 57 years old, with all of my experiences, there's too many regarding the most interesting. Probably one of my most favorites is that would be number one. One of my other ones is watching one of my hybrid children literally at birth. I've talked about this before, okay? At birth, moments after he was born, literally jump from the ET clone hybrid's arms, jump like he was a monkey, onto what looked like was supposed to be a wall, that then the ship turned it into part of a jungle gym. The ship knew what the infant was going to do, and the infant grabbed on like a monkey's hands and feet, toes. He was human. I've never seen anything like it. I don't remember anything like that before or since. Most fascinating, that to me would be up there. And when I told him it was our time, I got told by the ETs to tell him to come to me. And I was just so stunned at what he had just done. I was standing there watching him, and he was playing. And I was like, whoa, I've Weird. Yeah, that's so weird. Weird is a freaking understatement. When you're used to human infants, this was so beyond my comprehension. And I told it, you come to mama right now. And we were, God, how far away were we? Hang on a second. I got to get my tape measure. Whoops, I got to do this without knocking everything over. Owie, owie, owie. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ooh, that hurt. Okay. He was, let's see, I had walked up to the wall. He wouldn't come to me. And I started taking steps back. So he was, well, he was about 3. Oh, no, he wasn't 4. Well, okay, I'm going to say between 3 and 3.5 feet. Hang on, I got to take a look at this. Yeah, he was about 3 to 3.5 feet away from me at the time. And the ETs were getting really insistent. They were pushing me to, and I do mean pushing. Yes, I have had therapy for my PTSD. Do you have like PTSD or have you had therapy? Yes, I have. They were pushing me to get him to come to me because they wanted us immediately in the circadian rhythm. I had to think what the hell the thing that the chair is called. They wanted us in the circadian rhythm bonding chair. Imagine you would after those experiences. Oh, holy shit, honey. Neeson. Oh, hey, hi. How you doing, hun? Loved it, hun. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, Stone. Thank you for coming in. Huge hugs. Thank you. Night roomies. Yeah, right on. So I walked up a little bit more than, I was about 3 feet at that point, and I demanded that he come to me. I was like, well, I don't need to get into all that, but I demanded that he come to me. And he turned his head and he looked at me and I said, Mama said to come to me now. And he heard the tone. It was all the tone. And he turned back. He looked down at his hands and then he turned to me and he made the biggest freaking jump. And I'm like, I can't even believe this. I remember thinking this is just too much. I can't even fathom what I just saw. I'm like, I know I wasn't losing my mind. It was during a time when I saw the ship. We were essentially in a nursery area, and there were children that I saw that were hybrid children. They were blue, they were green, there were some that were brown, there were some that were Caucasian, there were some, how old was I then? Oh, geez. Well, I'm 57 now, so this would have been, oh, you'd have to go back through my YouTube videos. I think this was 2020, so 5 years younger. Because they still have me hybrid pregnant periodically. And he jumped into my arms from that point. And from the second he touched my skin, he was like a typical infant, human infant. And I was just like, I don't know. And at that point, he had a third eye on his forehead. It was completely opened up and it was blue eyes. He had his eyes were brighter blue than mine. And and that's what I didn't realize. I didn't realize because when he looked at me, I didn't see that. I was focused on his two eyes. And when he jumped is when I realized he had a third eye right here that was wide open. And teeny tiny, like almost, I would almost say it's microscopic. I just don't know how else to explain it. Like eyelashes that when he closed his eye, the eyelashes were no longer there. It looked like a regular forehead, and I'm just standing there huh? What? I'm not believing what I was seeing. It was way beyond anything I could even grapple with mentally. What did they feed you, like through IVs or something? Okay, so what you're basically asking, let me get into that in a minute. And so basically, we went from him jumping into my arms to looking up with me with three eyes. Yeah, right there. And he grabbed hold. He went to my heart, and he laid his head down, and he's looking up at me, and there was kind of like a sigh from him. And then the next thing, his eyes closed, third eye, and it didn't even look like, it looked like my forehead. It looked like a human forehead, okay? And he just rested his head on my shoulder, or on my chest, technically. And you could feel the bond between us. It was like it was reconnected. I don't know how else to say that. And that's when I got ordered by the ETs, sit in the chair. Sit in the rocking chair, Nikki. And the rocking chair wasn't there before. It was completely open, flat floor. And I turn around, the chair is there, and I go to sit in this metal-like rocking chair that was like, I remember thinking, but it's metal. I'm not going to sit in a metal chair. I want to see a wood chair. And I don't think I've ever said that verbally before. And the next thing I know, it looks like it's wood. It feels like it's wood. I know damn well it's not. I know it's the metal of the ship. And I sit down in it. It feels like real, honest to God. I don't have any, oh yeah, I've got, wood here, but I got a wood table here. I was just knocking on it. But anyway, it felt like real wood. And I start rocking, and the next thing I know, there's a energy barrier around us. I don't know what else to call it. It's barrier isn't the right word, but there's a form of energy around us. No, didn't feel like cold metal. No, not at all. Felt like real, honest to God wood. And thank you for asking these questions and being respectful in my chat. I appreciate that very, very much. Because you would be surprised by how many people get very, very belligerent and very nasty about things. So thank you for asking the way you're asking. I appreciate it. It truly does mean a lot to me. And so I start rocking us back and forth, and there's this energy around us. And the baby and I can feel it. Yeah, it boggles the mind. It totally, I'm still boggled. I'm still mind boggled by this, because to wrap your head around, wrap your mind and your consciousness around this information, it's more than any human can truly express. I mean, we don't have things like this. We do not have anything like this that I am aware of. Not even in the deep government shit that I've experienced. We don't have any of that. This is just absolutely beyond anything you can conceive of. And I know that it was between 5 to 8 minutes in that chair, and then I was told to get up and give the infant back. And I was like, what do you mean, give my infant back? Then the mother in me kicks in. And usually they have a hard time with me because I get kind of bitchy, to say the least. I become mother bitch, and I become a nightmare. I'm like, you're not taking my infant from me. Get the fuck away from me. And I get really nasty about it. And there have been times where they have, I've talked about this repeatedly and quite openly. There have been times where the ETs are like, how do you think you're getting? Because I've said, I'm taking my baby home. I'm going to raise this kid. This is my child. You're not taking my infant. And, or you're not taking my baby is how I say it. And then it gets into this very old conversation because they've been doing this to me since I've been 13 years old. And people think I should be outraged. And yeah, I was originally when I really started making realizations of what was going on with me. But then they start getting this age-old conversation. How do you think you're going to get off this ship, Nikki? We're the ones that brought you on board. How do you think you're going to get away? How do you think you're going to do this? How do you think? I mean, it gets into this real philosophical conversation that gets me very angry because I'm like, this is my child. Don't fuck with me about my head. They don't like it when I use language. It gets really nasty really fast. And then I get knocked out as there's somebody else is grabbing, well, as usually as one of the nursemaids is grabbing the kid as I'm being knocked out. And usually I'm standing up by that point. So they've got somebody catching me and grabbing onto the baby as I'm being knocked out. So that's usually the dynamics of that little experiment, so to speak. I get very angry because I'm not given the time that I need. Is it the same ETs or different ones every time or both? Depends. There's ETs going with the hybridization, and then there's different sets of ETs that are going for the SSP, the government shit. Well, Nikki, thank you for sharing tonight. My dreams should be interesting, to say the least. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Truly, I am sorry. But I get it. I totally get it. I can't imagine what you've been through. Neeson, boy, you deserve respect whether people believe you or not. Yeah, I get it. I get that people think that I'm a crackpot, that I'm I get that people believe I'm delusional. I understand that. I get it. And I'm not. This is what I've experienced. And it's hard. It's really freaking hard. But these are experiences, and we're going to be having ETs around, and it's about to make a major change and a major shift across this planet. Big one. Nissan, boy, I think, yeah, boy. Well, let's see. Like when you get abducted, is it the same ones that abduct you sometimes? Yeah, it's always the same ones. So there's a group of ET that abduct for hybridization program. El Greco, best of luck. Remind me of like the X-Files episodes, pretty chilling stuff. Yeah, it's rather interesting how some of the X-Files stuff is true. Not all. A lot of bits and pieces, a lot of big chunks of pieces are. It's interesting how it was put in or forced to be put in by different government agencies. And that happens with a lot of writers across Hollywood. Anyway, people think religion is nonsense too. Everyone is different, has different beliefs. Yeah, very much so. So like when you get abducted, is it the same ones that abduct you sometimes? So no. Yes and no. Okay, so I've, to my knowledge, have been abducted by 3 different groups. First group scared the shit out of me. Second group has been for hybridization. Third group is the group that works with government, global governments, but mostly with U.S. government. Just a reminder, my name is Christian. Oh, yes. Hello. I expect you to remember every... I appreciate that because I don't remember every time. There's just so much that's gone on. Christian. Yes, I remember you, Christian. And thank you for coming into my chat. I appreciate it. And actually, I'm close to my time in ending. I was going to only do for about 2 hours, and we're 2 hours and 45 minutes in. So, but we've had a lot of good questions. Oh, God, here goes the hair. It's the other thing. My hair is growing again. That's gigantically huge. I've been using... Oh, God, it's just wild. It's got this wild woman look to it right now. I hate that. Good night, rewriters. Tell Desi I said good night too. Thank you very much. Gotta sleep or at least try. Yes, I understand. Good night, El Graco. So yeah, it's just, it is what it is. We're going to be having ETs showing up more and more, and it's a lot of changes to be made. The process of moving such a house. Oh my God, I know what that's like. I stay safe, protect your back, protect your knees and your hips and your ankles. Moving is not easy, so stay safe. Create a beautiful point somewhere in your new home, wherever that is, or your room, or wherever. Find a small spot and just put up something that you truly treasure and enjoy. Creates a happy moment. Reminds you of good things and good times. That's important, especially on a new move. Anyway, it's been a long conversation tonight. We hit all the topics I think I wanted to hit tonight. And then a couple of extras. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm not thinking of anything at this second. Just know past lifetimes are real. If you're an ET abductee, you're not alone. If you're a survivor of anything, you're not alone. There's so many different avenues here regarding being a survivor of hell, life for that matter. I mean, life is trying to survive life. Holy crapes. Hello, grumbly tummy. Try and find a way to make money outside of the norm. Might help. Bring in a little extra income if you can. So, anyway, trying to think of anything else. Not thinking of it right now, but that's okay. Anyway, I hope... Sorry. Good grief. Yeah, it's time to go. I hope you have a good evening, a good day tomorrow, and a good evening. I hope you have a wonderful week. For those that participate or celebrate or view Thanksgiving a certain way, I hope you have a good week with your family. If you choose not to spend time with family for whatever reason, I hope you have a good, whatever it is that you're going to do for you, for yourself, for the United States holiday. Whatever that something is, I hope you take very, very good care. Good to know. Really good to know, actually. Thank you. Anyhow, I hope you all do well. Random, I know. Yes, very random. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it very, very much. Anyway, I hope you all do well. I hope you have a very good and very safe weekend, but a lot of fun. Have fun. You got to have fun in your life. You got to create the joy moments. Even if they're weird and unusual, and if that's in your nature that things are weird and unusual, do whatever it takes. I mean, you got to, within reason, of course. Anyway, take very good care, folks. I wish you many blessings, many good things. Anyway, on that note, it's time for Nikki to go. Bye, all. Take good care. Good night. Thank you for coming and listening. That's what I was wanting to say. Good night, folks.